Hello everyone. So, today I'd like to talk about language again because language is a very important thing in any discussion about anything. I know I keep bringing it up, but it's really important and new things keep coming out in discussions of asexuality and terminology and all these other sorts of things. Like, for example, one of the current thingamajiggies, I guess, a little hullabaloo shenaniganery going on in some of the discussions with the asexual community and the bigger majority is specifically the term sexual to describe people who aren't asexual, and it's a little bit confusing. So apparently there are some people who in the larger community, outside of the asexual community, who find the term sexual to describe non-asexual people offensive. I can see why the term can be confusing and a little misleading because what defines a sexual person? Is it someone who has sex? No, because asexual people have sex, and some sexual people might not have sex because they're celibate or for other reasons, abstinence, etc. Is a sexual person someone who, strictly speaking, experiences sexual attraction? Well, then you'd have to consider demisexual people who we consider under the asexual umbrella but do experience some sexual attraction. So I can understand why the term can be a little bit problematic as far as confusion goes. But that doesn't seem to be the reason why some people find it offensive. Or actually the fact that it's offensive rather than misleading is one of the main issues. So some people are under the believe that using the term sexual to describe non-asexual people falls under the slut-shaming category, which isn't really the case. And we don't mean to do that. I don't mean to do that. I certainly don't. And it's always a little bit problematic because you wonder, well, whenever, in any literature that I've come across, in many announcements or whatever, in many attempts to, well, not exact outright attempts, but in many cases where that erase asexuality as an identity, the term sexual does come up. For example, when someone says, all people are sexual beings, or all people are sexual this, or being sexual brings us together, that is always something that I've seen. And I think it was only natural that we would try and use it to explain our frustration and our separate, But now that, we're using it, people are finding it offensive. I certainly don't have any alternatives that I can think of, and I don't know. I think that in any case where a minority is trying to define the majority, oftentimes there's always this linguistic terminology kerfuffle that appears. I think most of the problem with minorities and majorities when they try and, figure each other out, one of the main problems that the majority has when this kind of discussion comes up is the whole box thing. Why do you have to give boxes to everyone? We don't fit in a box. Our experience is so much bigger than this box that you were trying to stuff us in. And the thing is, I read this somewhere, very well put, everyone has labels. A lot of them are invisible, but everyone has labels. Maybe they don't use them, maybe they're not important, but everything has, something. For example, cis, heteronormative. Those are all labels, but, many cis, heteronormative people just don't use it because it's assumed. The label is assumed, and that's why they're invisible. So maybe we'll find a better term than sexual because I understand. Because, yeah, it is a little awkward, but, hopefully the community and the majority will be a little bit more open to, discussion about these terms, because right now we don't really have much and to go by. So hopefully we'll be able to come to a consensus that where everyone is satisfied, and it won't just be the whole box issue. See you guys.